She sat quietly by the window in her little princess dress, holding a slice of birthday cake that no one came to share. 7 candles burned low, 2 balloons sagged in the corner, and 36 cupcakes stood untouched on the table. I had stayed up until 2 a.m. frosting every single one of them, and yet, not a single knock at the door. No calls. No texts. No last-minute excuses. Just silence from people who call themselves family. I told her maybe everyone got busy. She gave me a small nod, trying her best to be strong, trying to mirror me. But I saw the way her eyes kept drifting back to the phone, hoping it would light up with a message, a call, a voice filled with love. It didn't. So, I packed up the leftover cupcakes, and we walked them down to the women's shelter just a few blocks away. Strangers hugged her, called her beautiful, and sang louder than blood ever had. Her smile returned briefly, not because of who was missing, but because of who chose to show up. 4 days later, I was at work when my phone buzzed. $2, 900 withdrawn from your card ending in 0387. I stared at the notification. I hadn't made any large purchases. I hadn't given anyone permission. And then it clicked. Dad still had access. Emergency use only. That's what I told myself when I handed him the card last year after his surgery. He never gave it back. I called him. No answer. Tried my sister. Straight to voicemail. Tried mom. Line busy. The silence was familiar now, almost expected. So I stopped calling. Instead, I sent one message to our family group chat. Expect a call from my lawyer. 10 minutes later, chaos. My sister's voice messages hit first, fast and panicked. Are you serious right now? It was for Dad's generator. He didn't even know your account was still linked. Then another one. You're threatening legal action? Over family? Then Dad finally chimed in.
Calm.
Condescending. You're overreacting. It's not that serious. You make enough, don't you? And there it was. That tone. That assumption. That belief that my boundaries were optional. That I existed to finance their wants and cushion their absences. This wasn't just theft. It was confirmation. I didn't yell. I didn't respond. I just called my lawyer. Because here's what they didn't know. 2 months ago, I started preparing. I updated every financial authorization. I filed the paperwork to revoke their access. I placed a fraud alert on the account. I'd seen the pattern, the silence, the entitlement, the cycle. And I was done. I opened a new account, moved all the funds, left the old one with just enough for one last linked card, the one Dad just drained. Then I waited. I let them believe they got away with it for 48 hours. I let them argue in circles while I gathered receipts, screenshots, voice messages, bank statements. And then I sent everything to the bank's fraud division. The account was frozen within hours. They called again. This time, Dad was furious. You reported me to the effing bank? They froze my account. No, I said calmly. You did that. I just forwarded the receipts. He tried guilt-tripping me. Said Mom was stressed. Said I was tearing the family apart. So I asked him just one question. Where were you on her birthday? Silence. Exactly, I said. If this is how you act when I say nothing, imagine what happens when I finally speak. They wanted an apology. I gave them a timeline. December 5th, restaurant bills. February 18th, jewelry store. April 2nd, spa charges in Mom's name. Total, $9,432. All unauthorized. All traced. I pressed send. The group chat went silent for nearly an hour. Then one last message from my sister. We didn't think you'd actually do something. And that was the problem. They never thought I would, because I never had. Because I let it slide for years. I forgave missed birthdays. I ignored backhanded comments. I swallowed the guilt of being the daughter they only remembered when something broke or needed funding. But when my daughter sat alone in her birthday dress, asking if she'd done something wrong, that was the last time I stayed quiet. The legal process was swift. I had documentation. They had excuses. The bank reversed every charge. Their accounts were flagged for investigation. I didn't press criminal charges. Not yet. I just made sure they couldn't do it again. Weeks passed. Then one day, a handwritten letter from Mom arrived. Not to apologize, but to say she missed me. She ended it with, "Family should forgive." But I didn't write back. Because family should also show up. This year, we celebrated my daughter's birthday at the aquarium. She fed penguins, held a jellyfish, laughed so hard she snorted blue slushy out of her nose. She didn't ask about Nana.
Or Grandpa.
Or Auntie. She was surrounded by people who chose to be there. And I watched her run through the coral tunnel, light reflecting across her face, joy in every step. And I whispered to myself, "You didn't lose a family. You removed a burden." They taught me that silence can be a currency. So I gave them a transaction they'll never forget.